What's good, YouTube? DM Gaming here, man. Hope everybody's having an awesome day. I hope your day has been awesome. Mine, guys, I'm glad to be here, man. This is almost therapy for me. Guys, we are going to be breaking down another offensive playbook. Yes. And by request, we did defense yesterday, so I got to do offense today. We are tackling the power spread offense. And yes, y'all gonna see B-roll of the trailer. That's just so we're not looking at a still screen. But I do have some formations to show you, and I have some plays to go over as well. Y'all know how I do on these playbooks. There's also a playbook playlist that is made so you can see all of the stuff that we've broken down. And once the game comes out, we will be going into the game and doing more kind of live streams, looking at actual playbooks in action, because there's going to be a plethora more of different playbooks and play styles that'll be available to us once the game comes out. So guys, please, man, I cannot ask you if you do anything for me at all. If you are watching this video, hit the subscribe button, man. It doesn't cost you a single dime, and you're doing something tremendous for me that I greatly appreciate, man. Real talk. So let's get into it. The power spread. What is the difference, first of all, between the power spread and the regular spread offense? Guys, the power spread is, to me, this is my opinion, the power spread is a transitional offense. Okay, I'll put it like this. It's a great transitional offense, all right? If you are a run-heavy team that is wanting to transition into the spread, this is the playbook for you. This is the scheme for you. The reason why that is, guys, is because it's run heavy. It's run heavy. First off, your linemen up front, they are generally smaller, quicker linemen, all right? The part of the reason why it's not a full spread offense, more of a power spread, is largely in part because of that. You got the GoDaddies on the outside. You got the running backs and the receivers to get it done. But in a true spread offense where you pass a little bit more than you might run, the balance is a little bit closer. When a power spread, it may be a 60-40 split, 60% run, 40% pass. A spread, traditional spread, would be probably the opposite, more 60% pass, 40% run. You get what I'm saying? So understand, your linemen up front in a power spread tend to be smaller linemen. This is part of the reason why I say it is a transitional style of, or a great offense to use if you want to transition to the spread. All right. Let's say you pick a option style team. Let's say you pick Air Force or Navy or any school that runs the triple option, okay, or a heavy option style offense. They're going to have smaller linemen, all right? Quicker, smaller, you get what I'm saying. Now, those offenses, tend to have really good skill guys, because especially if they're running a flex bone or a wishbone where you got 3 backs on the field and 2 wide receivers. So those offenses tend to have decent skill guys. So skill guy department, check. All right. Your quarterback may not be fully suited to throw the ball, which is fine. So you got a smaller lineman, you got the skill guys. You come into this team I'm rebuilding Air Force, and I want to make them a pass team. I want to take them into the spread offense. So I go into Air Force, but these recruits, I would imagine they look at your playbook. I imagine it has something to do with gaining recruits and stuff like that, or even you as a coach saying, hey, I want to transition to the spread offense, and I need to start getting my players used to it, the tempo and things like that, that's different from the option. So what do? I change my scheme to a power spread. I already have the skill guys necessary to get it done. I have a decent quarterback who can make those short throws and those RPOs. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily a guy that's going to pass the ball 25 times a game. And then my linemen, I need to recruit some bigger linemen until that time, and I can fully transition over into a full spread offense. You get what I'm saying? So that's the type of transitional game that I'm talking about. So, and that kind of already told you the personnel wise, smaller linemen up front, big skill guys that can run between the tackles, but also stem to the outside. Okay. As far as your scheme, since it is power spread, it is heavy run, the run book is open, man. You got your read options in there because remember, you still possibly transitioning from a spread. From a option style to a spread. All right, or you could be transitioning from a spread offense into an option style offense, whatever. But your linemen, smaller guys, your skill guys, your receivers need to be able to go. They need to be able to run routes. Okay, maybe some possession receivers here or there, some quicker guys in the slot. If you're running a flex bone, if you're transitioning from that, those tailbacks that you have in the flex bone tend to be your quicker backs. They can possibly transition to being pretty decent slot receivers because they're going to be smaller, quicker, and they're going to be able to take the hits running into those linebackers and safeties, if you get what I'm saying. Your fullback can just transition to your running back, okay? And you're good to go. As far as your run scheme, power is open. A lot of power spread teams tend to run a lot of zone blocking schemes. You get a lot of that with the smaller linemen and stuff like that. So it's really interesting, okay? What you're seeing on the screen, guys, there's not a formations just set for a power run scheme. But the types of formations that you will see are similar to this, like the shotgun wing offset, okay? Where I'm in a shotgun formation, I have twins on one side, single receiver to the other, and I have a wing in the slot. He's in a slot, meaning he's between the guard. The guard and the tackle. A lot of people will call this an H-back of sorts, okay? And pistol formation, you can run that with some power spread, okay? The formations isn't so much the deal. The formations are more spread heavy, spread type formation, 3 receivers, trips, all that stuff is wide open in a power spread. The difference is you're running the ball more. Okay, you want to run the football. Like it's not like, hey, I want to run and pass. No, I want to run the football, and we're going to pass to keep the defense honest. You get what I'm saying? So I have this, and I have some plays that I want to look at and go over with you as well. Like I said, if you want to transition, okay, from running a heavy option to running a spread, or let's say you pick up a team and they're running I formation or they're running single back and you want to transition to the spread. This is a really good playbook. You go into a rebuild with a particular school, they have smaller defensive linemen, or let's say even, because the SEC tends to have bigger linemen than possibly like the Big 12 or something like that, or the Mountain West. Mountain West tend to have smaller linemen. Let's say you get a team and you're switching conferences. You're going to a conference where you're going to be facing off against bigger linemen. Hey, a power run scheme might be in your favor if you don't want to run the option, okay? So anyway, looking at the plays here, just looking at some plays, guys, because like I said, this is a wide open playbook. There's no, this is a power run formation, because you could run out of anything, okay? What you want to do gameplay-wise, okay? You want to establish running between the tackles, okay? You need your power runs, your dives, things like that hit in between the tackles. I want to draw as many people in the box as possible, okay? Then at that point, it opens up my outside zone plays, my power plays to the outside. It opens up the pass game as well, okay? But you need to be able to establish the inside run because it opens everything else up. The more people that are in the box, the better for your offense. I know that sounds contradictory for an offense. You tend to want more guys outside of the box, you know what I'm saying? Part of the reason why you're running a spread. But you got to understand, if you're a team that's transitioning from the run game or you have smaller linemen, you're going to face those teams that's going to want to put more pressure on you and things like that. Also, you need to be able to pass the ball, okay? Number one, running is your bread and butter. You have to be able to run the ball. That is top priority. Second priority is you got to be able to pass, because if you can't pass, they're not going to respect those receivers outside, okay? So, and then considering going from an option style offense where your run to pass ratio is more like 85-15 or 80-20, you're going from that to 60-40 split, something to that degree. That is a drastic increase in passing the football. You get what I'm saying? Your options are still valuable. Your read options in today's football world, RPOs are extremely valuable, and you're going to be a little more efficient at running these RPOs and options out of these spread formations. Why? Because you have the linemen to be able to do it. They're not these big burly guys that can't get around. Your guards and tackles are going to be able to pull, and really with a speedier back, all you need to do is get in the way and let the back do what they do, especially with quicker receivers on the outside. Okay, so looking at a few plays, and this is a RPO concept here, kind of out of the same formation. Like I said, this is more of an H-back because he's lined up behind the tackle. If he's right here, he's more of in a slot position. But this is why I say in like this formation here, wing offset, guys, it's essentially the same formation, man. This guy's almost, they call him a slot because he lined up there, but it's essentially the same thing. A lot of guys call this an H-back. You can call it a wing. You can call it a slot, whatever. So looking at this particular formation, I have two receivers to the left. I have one receiver to the right. My quarterback is here behind the center, and my tailback is actually lined up behind the quarterback. All right. Now, this is an RPO scheme. What they're reading right here is the defensive end. All right. Same concepts apply. My backside guard is he's gonna pull and seal. He's not kicking. He's pulling and sealing up in the hole. He's going up to the next level on the linebacker. My play side tackle, okay, they're double teaming the nose, okay. Well, I say a double team. It's more of a bump and slide. So my guard is going to definitely go get this nose guard right here. In this particular defense, they're running what, a 4-3? Looks like they're lined up in a 4-3. All right. And these are the kind of looks that you're going to get with this kind of front. But still, you have your tackle. He's going to nudge. He's going to give a slight double team on this before going up to the next level. That's why you see his block icon right there. So they're attacking the nose together before he branches off and goes up to the next level. They're letting this end go because he's the read guy. If the end crashes on the tailback, the quarterback pulls it, and he can either run it here, or you're going to have your H-back coming across. He's not motioning across. He's going across at the snap of the ball. All right. And you could throw that in the flats. Okay. This is part of the reason why your tailback is backed off. It's all a timing thing. If the tailback was right here, even with the quarterback, he could cross his face before my H-back is able to get across his face. Does that make sense? So it's going to look like two people pulling. He's following right off the butt of that guard, and he's hitting right off the butt of that tackle. That end, the end could go with him. The end could slide with him. The end could stay back and sit there. If the end stays back or attacks this wide, then bam, I give it to my tailback, and we're off to the races. You get what I'm saying? This is a power run, or it's an RPO that you can do. It's power run based because it's based off of this running concept here. Okay, it seems like everybody's zone blocking to the right. So here's another one. Okay, this time my Y is to the opposite side. My back is opposite of the Y. Okay, he could be on the same side as the Y, but generally they play opposite of each other. Sometimes they play on the same side. Regardless, pistol is really good in this because this is probably a telltale sign of something, but on the other side the Y would be crossing face, but on here he's not. Anyway, you see your tailback is actually even with the quarterback. Why? Because it's a timing thing. There's no need for him to be back. He needs to be up because the timing is going to hit quicker. Why? Because the Y is right here. Once again, they're leaving the end exposed. They're not paying attention to him. They're releasing him because he's the read guy. Your tackle is blocking down on the nose with the guard and going up to the next level on the linebacker. Your backside guard is pulling and sealing on the second level to the linebacker there. The back is coming across his face. He's reading the end. If he takes the back, the quarterback keeps it, and he's going to run. This is more like, instead of a read option, it's more like a Veer concept. Because remember, in your read option, your back is the one that's hitting the hole. Quarterback is the one that's sitting outside. In your Veer, your quarterback now is hitting the hole, and your running back or tailback is the one that's hitting outside. So this is more of a Veer concept here something that you can run out of the power spread. You get what I'm saying? And I like this formation because you have that Y, that H-back in there. Position-wise, a tight end would be good here because this guy is going to go out on some routes. If you have I wouldn't put a fullback here if you're trying to use this guy in the pass game. All right, if you want to utilize this guy in the pass game, then you could probably put a backup running back here. Possibly a possession type wide receiver. But if you have a good tight end if he's good at blocking, then that's a good spot for him. Okay. It's all about getting the defense moving around and things like that. And the same thing, this is against a 4-3, a 4-3 defense right here. Okay. Got your two linebackers. Really, that's a rover. So this is more of a 4-2, but yeah, that's a 4-2. Either way, still. All right. And then some more, another formation, exact same formation actually. This time you actually have two tight ends. Now, this guy can be a wide receiver. Same thing in this formation. This could be a back. A lot of times people label their A's a back. Your A and T personnel is up to you in this, guys. Your guys in the slots are gonna need to be your quicker guys because you have mismatches with the linebackers in the pass game. Does that make sense? But in a power spread, hey, you may not be utilizing this guy as much. He could be a running back. He could be I would say either running back or a wide receiver, possession type, somebody that's good at blocking, especially if you're going to be running the ball a lot. You want your better blocking receivers on the inside in a power run scheme because you're going to be running a lot of outside zones and powers and things like that. You're not trying to run all the way out here to the sideline. Does that make sense? So I really want my best blockers on the inside. So personnel-wise, keep that in mind. And that's probably why here you're seeing that they actually have a tight end here in the slot. Okay, personnel-wise, this would be 12 personnel. 12 personnel means I have one running back and two tight ends, okay? That's how you would read personnel. You may hear some people say that you have 10 personnel is just one running back, no tight ends. 11 personnel, one running back, one tight end. You know what I'm saying? That's not important for this. But anyway, so it's kind of the same play concept that we saw earlier. Actually, it is the exact same play concept that we saw here, except he's not going out on a route. He's motioning across, and he's going to block at the next level. This is your option, man. It's just showing you really the same play, kind of in a different concept. Picture him being over here motioning across. Does that make sense? But it's not Veer. They're going outside. So it's more like here, but instead of him going at the snap of the ball here on the RPO, he's motion. Boom, that ball is snapped. He's going to block down on this safety. All right. Backside guard is pulling. Okay. Everybody else is hooking. My left tackle, he's hooking up to the next level. All right. Quarterback down here, you even see what it says. Quarterback reads defensive end, chooses inside. Okay, and keeps our outside handoff to running back. All they're doing is releasing this guy. Nobody's really responsible for him per se. This backside guard pulling can pick him up, but that's only if the defensive end comes down, and which is good. If he's coming in to take the running back, if he comes inside, he's going to get hooked by the guard. If he goes outside, then the quarterback is going to fake it to the fullback. Okay, and keep it himself, or the running back. This is almost a Veer concept. I think Veers tend to hit a little bit more, hit a little bit tighter. Does that make sense? But it's more, instead of it being just your traditional read option, it's a power read option because it's going more towards the outside. Okay, looking at another RPO, sort of the same concept, except the Y's on this side. The backside guard, he's pulling and going up to the next level linebacker, and this is who they're reading. They're not reading this defensive end in this case. A little bit different than this. This end is looks like he's in an outside shade. This one actually is too. Just a different concept. They're keeping the Y in to actually block this in. Okay, this is more of your peak, I think, is the concept that we use. The peak RPO, where we're reading the linebacker. The difference is you don't have a slant concept with the A and the Z. This time they're using the actual quarterback. Okay, so this is like this is an awkward formation. This is like your wildcat formation. Only thing is you actually have the quarterback and the running back switch. But let's just say for the sake of this formation, this is the quarterback and this is the running back, you know. But quarterback getting the ball, okay, he can run it up here, all right? But if this is open, he can dump that. He runs it up here, the Mike backer comes down, bam, I can dump it to that running back right there. We're off to the races, all right? Very simple concept, all right? And here is just, it's really just your basic sweep play, okay, or a power read. It's kind of the same concept. It's a power read concept. You have your quarterback coming here. They're releasing the defensive end. This time my tight end is on the line of scrimmage and he's going to block that weak side backer, okay? Or the wheel. Because the strength here, they have the strong safety and the Sam on this side, because most players or most defenses call their strength to the multiple receiver side. Okay, and I know you may say, well, that's a tight end and a Z, but you also have this tailback on this side, and this is why the defense is calling it strength to this side, so that's why the wheel is on the back side. Okay, as far as defensive alignment, they actually are in a 4-3 defense. Looks like they're in an odd set because everybody is lined up in a gap. So a 4-3 odd. Okay, quarterback gets the ball here. They're reading this defensive end. This is more of a Veer type concept. Once again, you got the guard pulling and sealing. Okay, the nose and the tackle, very similar to this concept here where they're double teaming this nose and then the tackle's leading up on the linebacker. Same concept here. They're double teaming the tackle right here. All right, and then he's releasing up to this to backside backer to seal. Okay, quarterback is reading the defensive end. If he attacks the tailback, if he comes outside, quarterback's going to keep it and go inside. I really don't like this concept per se, because with the tight end going to block the wheel, if that defensive end, he can fake here, force you to get it and just crash right here. If this is a crazy athletic defensive end, okay, then he would have to commit heavily upfield, which you don't teach your defensive ends that. This would be a big error by the defensive end. You don't want him coming upfield that way. Does that make sense? So, you know, he's taught, a lot of defensive ends are taught that if this guy blocks down, that you replace him. I mean, it's you're coming right off of his butt right here, north and south, and you would blow that play up in the background. So you're really banking that this guy commits heavily either to the run right here or that he commits heavily inside. Okay, if he seals right here, then yeah, I could probably give it to my back. But this play right here, I don't know about that one working too well, man, just because of how far out the quarterback is going. If he was hitting more here between the guard and the tackle, I kind of like that a little bit more, you know, or possibly here having the tight end kick out this defensive end and you're using your will linebacker, let him stay free and read on him. But you kind of get what I'm saying, man. Power run schemes, you still have your options available. You can run your tosses out of it. Any of these plays are viable, guys. The same plays that you would have in any shotgun spread offense or whatever is still extremely viable. All right. The difference is you're going to be running the ball more, a lot more. OK, because you got to consider you have smaller linemen. So you're not going to have those passing concepts where you can just sit back deep in the pocket, you know, like Peyton Manning, and have all day to throw because of your offensive lineman being smaller. If you're going against a bigger defensive line, you can tend to get a lot of penetration. You know what I'm saying? So you got to take that into consideration. Your screenplays would be fine. Your counters would be fine. You know, wide read option, that would be fine. Like all of these plays would be fine. There's not a difference between your traditional spread and your power spread. You get what I'm saying? So the biggest thing is, you know, you want to run the ball. You're going to be better running the ball. Your guards and tackles will be pulling. You know what I'm saying? You'll be better at running the ball out of a power spread set than a traditional spread set. What makes it different, okay, is that, like I said, you have smaller, quicker linemen than you have in a traditional spread set. That's why you're able to run the ball and run those option plays a little bit better. Now, the beautiful part of it is if you want to stick with it, hey, stick with it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But like I said, if you're in a transitional phase of transitioning to a true spread offense or maybe even an air raid offense, let's say you get a quarterback, because I think Alito, if I'm not mistaken, or I think it's Alito in Texas. I'm in Texas, so Texas high school football. Alito runs this system. Like they're you have to adapt your offenses to your personnel. That's why all of these playbooks that we do always cover personnel. So Alito, for example, their offense is set up like this. They can be a power run power spread team if they want to, or they can be your full-on full spread team if they want to. It's all based off of your personnel. So let's say you're at a school, hey, you have a bad recruiting class and your backup linemen are a lot smaller than the guys that you had a year ago or 2 years ago. You find yourself with a smaller offensive line, but you still got them GoDaddies on the outside and you got a decent quarterback, okay? Hey, transition to a spread, a power spread. That would be a great transition for you. You're going to have more success out of it than you would have in a traditional spread offense where, you got bigger linemen. You're not running a whole bunch you're not running as much. You're wanting to pass the ball more. Like, the options don't work as well because you got bigger linemen. They can't get around and get to the next level as well and stuff like that. So you got to consider your personnel. It is a huge deal. It's a huge deal. But then let's say, hey, you have a good recruiting class, you get some bigger linemen or even get a better quarterback, okay? Now I can transition to more of a spread team. Maybe you want to pass the ball more. Instead of a 60-40 split, you're at a 50-50 split or a 55-45. You get what I'm saying? So understand these things. It's a lot of gray area in there, if that makes sense. Know your personnel. Okay, that's the biggest deal right there, man. Don't expect to run a full-on spread with small offensive linemen, man. You're not going to be as effective. You may be able to pass the ball with bigger, you know what I'm saying? With the you'll still be able to pass the ball, but I would say you need quicker passing combos, and you need to be getting that quarterback out on. A lot of bootlegs are really good. A lot of rollouts are really good in a power spread scheme because your smaller offensive linemen, they'll be getting bull rushed like crazy from the bigger ones. You know what I'm saying? And you deal with those kind of issues. So guys, like I said, if you're new to the channel or if you've been watching and just haven't subscribed yet, please do me a huge favor and just subscribe to the channel, guys. It would be amazing to hit 40K here. We're about maybe 1,000 subscribers away, but the big goal, I want to get a silver play button. It will look really good on my wall and continue to grow. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all think down in the comment section down below. Let me know what defensive playbook to cover next. I think somebody asked about the 4-6. I told them I would do that. Or what even offensive playbook would you like me to cover? Or any kind of schemes that you would like me to cover. Let me know down below, guys. Till next time, thanks for watching. Peace.
EA Sports. It's in the game.